Alright ladies and gents, welcome to another video here on the EGL channel. Time for another CDL catch-up with Tunn. Last week we kind of previewed the major and everything that was going on. There's been fallout since and we are going to dive into that, but we're going to be talking about the major specifically as well. Just to literally chat through essentially what happened. And it was a very interesting weekend, of course, with FaZe coming out on top. And to be honest with you, we've seen that New York coming in second, but the top end of competition just looks so close. I think from my point of view, yes, okay, FaZe, absolutely in terms of consistency, if that wasn't so inconsistent, then they would be the best team in the game. At times, I think they look unstoppable. I think Toronto are super close to them, but maybe a little bit more consistent, but maybe not at as high a level as they can be. But again, subliners are there, and they've looked really good with Hydra. So no surprise to see that FaZe went through and won that one. It was thoroughly entertaining though. I really enjoyed the whole weekend. I didn't get to catch the whole of the finals just because it was super early in the morning for me, and obviously I had to get up in the morning. But for me, I was really happy to watch a team full of guys from the UK once again looking really good. So it's nice to see that, not just from the UK, from Europe as well, of course, with Kleenex. But Toronto look really good, and they've got a really big fan in me. And a lot of Europe are kind of behind them, which is nice to see. But also, Subliners doing really well. It's nice to see Paco, Hydra doing fantastically on that lineup. FaZe just look really good, though. I mean, they're kind of the team that everyone just presumes they're going to go on and do very well, as they so often do. But just quickly drawing over it, I think, very much deserved. I think Optic 4th is not too bad of a result for them either. I'm interested to see how they do carry on. I'm not too sure what the cat thinks of that because she's away. But realistically, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Competition at the top was very high, and people have been making changes to try and get in and amongst that competition, which is no surprise to see. But let's delve into the fun bits of the weekend, of course. Clint is my spirit animal for this one.
It's lovely to have a title where a multi-kill in almost any scenario is a good thing, or it results in something, not just them spawning in the same spot with their team and then flying at you again 2 seconds later.
No idea what you're talking about at all. Not.
It does say a lot. It does say a lot. I think I've never sort of held back in my dislike for Modern Warfare. I think there's probably a part of it why I disliked it so much was, I was literally, I didn't cast a single game of CoD the whole year, which probably doesn't help things. But at the same time, I think it was, it didn't feel like CoD. The time to kill, everything, just not my vibe. Let's go through some more of the funny stuff. This is not necessarily funny stuff, but look at this. Delete this immediately, by the way. We can't show you into full screen, you can see it. Look where they've put it. Why would somebody post this? Why would someone post that? Delete it immediately. Already too many of them. Shout out to Miles. I opened this one up just because I'll read through it obviously for you. Shout out to the GOAT Miles, one of the best cats we have. We shall appreciate the good of a job he does. It's hilarious to bring so much entertainment to the match. You can't see you a real one, Miles. One of the big reasons I miss going to events is for hanging out with my mate Miles. I miss beers, breakfast. We always used to do it. And it's a shame that we haven't been able to get to events and hang out together. But he is genuinely, I feel, one of the best casters on the planet, full stop. I think it's as what these guys say, is his wordplay very clever with it, and very underrated, I think, by a lot of people. But fantastic caster. Miss you, Miles. This was maybe my favourite thing I've seen in weeks. So that's how he runs. A legend of the game. Oh dear, I live for sloss. Okay, we're gonna try and keep the title out of this one, but this okay, well we can't. It's already there. I'm not saying the word, so hopefully you don't get demonetized for that one. COD sensitivity training stage in the COD honeymoon stage. Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. We need, maybe Optic do need a British player. We'll close that one off just to hopefully not get demonetized. Anyway, let's head into some of the maybe more serious stuff this week, of course. Major Mania coming back in, accuracy out of the Rocket team. We're not going to go through the video. You probably watched it by this point, but I think especially changing everything before LAN, there seems to be a lot of that going on, and let's just noted that comment down there as well. It's an interesting one, but the Rocket have definitely fallen off from where they were, so changes were inevitably going to be made. Major Mania coming in. Let's see how he does, but I don't know. I feel like it's very difficult to break that top 4-5 at this moment in time for the Rocker. I just don't see them being there. Having a look through, though, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to sort of total it up thanks to Crone towards the end. Zed getting into this team and then immediately being dropped because this is a lot to do with Afro seemingly coming over, approved. So that means in my head that he's got his visa sorted, and it's something that I'd heard about as well. For Zed, though, I mean, there's plenty of other rumours we're going to get through in a second. I really feel for Zed if that is the case. It's a big shame. He's done really well, and I think this is the problem with only having so many teams, is that, you know, until this expansion happens, there's a lot of good players that are going to miss out. There's a lot of good players and challengers that aren't getting the chance. There's a lot of good players who are, but at the same time, I feel as if the expansion it is in a good spot to get there now. There's definitely at least 2-3 teams worth of players that could be put together that could be competitive in this league. What roster move comes in if Ben is in baiting? So, I mean, it sounds like a lot of stuff's about to kick off, and we might have to do another catch-up sometime in the week to sort of reevaluate these, because this is all going on right now. No BS, this might be the worst set of roster moves I've ever seen from Ben. So, London is the big one by the looks of things, but Seattle could be making a change as well. There's loads of stuff. So, Alex is back there as well. Dylan celebrating with Alex wherever they may be. Both those guys obviously not on the roster at this moment in time. Is that super necessary? Oh, you're in it. She's got a new litter tray. It's in here because we got a dog and she tries to eat it. Anyway, besides the point, Alex is back. Dylan posting with him. Both those guys not on the roster, but things could obviously change in a second. Again, I mean, a lot of stuff from Surge. A lot of stuff going on. Zed there as well. Close the door so she can do her business in peace. Anyway, there's a lot going on by the looks of things. A lot of questions asked about Surge and Octane at the moment. I'm not 100% sure what's going on yet, but from what I've heard, Octane has not been benched. The Surge making a change would not surprise me. Let's go through what Crone's got put down, though, as everything seems to be changing. Less than a day after FaZe Crown Stage Champions, blah, 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 blah. The London Royal Ravens are parting ways with Zaptius, who is on a temporary contract, as well as sending Zed to the bench, according to sources close to Esports. Alex will rejoin the starting roster due to personal reasons, which is fair enough, because if he's off for personal reasons, they see a lot of future in Alex. He's a very good player. He can move in there immediately again. Afro, who was signed as a substitute, has finally had his visa approved and likely joined the starting roster when he touches down in the US. Now, Afro is a talent. He's a massive talent. So I'm very interested to see if he does go in that starting lineup and how London do. I think London, again, have seen that sort of scenario of people trying out these challenger players and working for them. It worked momentarily for London for a little bit, to be honest with you. Not maybe to the level of what it did for Ultra in that sense, or for subliners, of course. But I think Afro coming in, you're coming straight into the LAN stage as well, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders. They didn't do too badly with Zaptius and Zed on the roster, as mentioned, only losing to FaZe and Thieves, so actually that's not too bad. So it looks like the roster is going to be Paul, Shawnee, Alex, and Afro. Presuming that he doesn't arrive in time by the looks of things. But Paris Legion have continued to struggle despite picking up temp. In turn, the team attempted to acquire Academy player Saints from the subliners, but due to a $25,000 buyout, Paris has moved on from Saints and set their sights on Zaptius, who's been dropped from London instead. Now, Saints is one who you absolutely should be looking to pick up if you are a franchise. We've seen time and time again how good he's looking in challengers. He's got a proven caliber of a player. He really does need to be on a roster, but Seattle Surge, who also enjoyed a disappointing Stage 3 major and finished joint last with Paris Legion, are also making moves. Decimate is benching himself on the roster after 2 weeks of joining, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. He's rumoured to go back and compete in challenges. I'm really curious what's gone on there, and I don't know what Seattle do, to be honest with you, because they should be infinitely better than they are. So it looks like Paris may be sorted with Zaptius coming in, for who I'm not actually 100% sure. London is complete turn up, but I think this is the thing. Teams are sort of seeing how these challenger players are coming in and doing well for some of these other teams, as said, notably subliners and notably Ultra. And a lot of them are saying, right, okay, well, we need to kind of keep up. There's only so many decent results that many teams can have. There's only 12 teams, so the core is very, very strong, and you need to be making sure you're keeping up with them, because, you know, then owners are going to be asking questions towards the end. Players are going to maybe lose out in different scenarios here. It's a very, very volatile place to be, being a Call of Duty pro, and especially with such a small amount of franchise teams. It's difficult. It is really difficult. You had to be on the chopping block very, very quickly. But yeah, plenty of changes coming in. It's going to be a wild week. We may have another episode coming through to discuss what we think of the changes and where we think teams are going to end up, if you like. But that is going to be it. My favourite part of this video, though, was absolutely the Kill Us Lost one. I mean, I miss this man. They don't make him like him anymore. They really do not make him like Kill Us Lost anymore. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, please leave it a like, comment below, and what you think's going on with all these rosters, who you think's going to come out on top. Subscribe if you have not as well, and we will see you for the next CoD Catch-Up.